Hello everyone, and welcome back to Sudden Wealth. I hope you're having a wonderful week. I know I'm having a very happy week. By the way, guys, don't forget tomorrow there's a live stream for about half an hour to an hour. We'll see, depends a bit on the engagement. The scheduling is out, so turn on that notification bell so you know when I go live. By the way, guys, if you do enjoy the content, please consider dropping that like and subscribe. It greatly helps the channel, so thank you very much for your support. Now, stock market is in the green. As I mentioned, for stocks, it would be important if we are putting in a double bottom close to the 4,200 mark. It would be very important to be happening right now. So this should be a bouncing week, if you will, and then that just means that we keep on being in the same range. So TLT seems also, bonds seems to also be going higher, which means maybe somebody's pricing in rate stopping or rate hikes stopping or rate cuts even. I do think rate cuts will happen, but next year, not this one, unless something really dramatic happens, but I don't think so. What else? Yeah, the oil top call that I made late September still is working, but commodities, it's always complicated because you just need one big event for the whole thing to either crash or skyrocket. So we'll see. But as I mentioned, the trends downward were very strong on oil. So even though we went on WTI crude, we went close to $90, we are already at 83 something again. So I'm not sure if that top call is going to hold. Again, it depends too much on single events, so it's difficult to say. But let's go straight to the good stuff. Let's go straight to crypto. Yesterday, Bitcoin hit, depending on the exchange that you're looking at, some exchanges 34,600 or so, other exchanges up to 36,700. You may be wondering why the difference. It depends on how much short selling there is in each exchange. So if you have an exchange with a lot of shorts, including particularly shorts on leverage, on high levels of leverage, so not just like 50 times leverage, this kind of stuff, what happens is as it goes up, it forces that short to cover, or if you have stop losses right above certain prices, it closes out your position, which makes that person buy Bitcoin higher, and then that obviously pushes the price higher, and you have a little short squeeze, which we had today. So depending on the exchanges, actually, I had a target. You guys may recall that when Bitcoin was about 24,600 or so, I mentioned my target for year end is 35,000 Bitcoin. I was wrong. It was actually not year end. It was actually now in October. But again, I got the direction right. I actually was a bit conservative, but better to be conservative than not. I would like to point out that this cycle with the green September and what appears to be the green October, it is beginning to look like the 2015 cycle, which means, just FYI, putting it out there so you guys know it. I'm not saying that's going to repeat, but it's important that we are aware. 2015 we had green Bitcoin September, green Bitcoin October stronger, strong November, and very strong December. Will it happen again? Who knows? We are here to see. If you guys know me, I've been positioning already back in 2022 and aggressively in 2023, as you very well know. You also know my retirement bags, the Pulsechain ecosystem, some of the biggest bubbles. If you go to crypto bubbles, you'll see X for the week. You see X, Pulsechain, PULSEX doing very well, but also HEDRON and ICOSA is doing very well. It's actually outperforming almost the entirety of the crypto market, which is exactly what I wanted to see. Now, again, to highlight that if we do see 2015, that would be very positive. I would like to say something that is not going to be popular, but something just to throw out there, which is be careful with the feeling of FOMO, the fear of missing out, which means, no, look guys, I get it. We've been seeing the exact year, the recovery year, as I mentioned many times. We go up more than we go down, but we have these periods but there's a big disbelief, like, is this really going to go up? Is this going to sell off like last year? Because people remember the bear market very well. So every time they see a rally, they get very suspicious and they start selling, blah, blah, blah. I think we can retrace back to 31,500, 31,800, and we should find some support there. That would actually be very positive. Let's see if that happens. But what I'm trying to say is, it's so funny how the mentality works. I mean, if you actually compare the crypto cycles, we've been doing nothing but repeat the cycle. That's it. By the way, very funny fact, Jim Cramer was extremely bearish in October 11, so about 16 days ago. He said, I'm not going to touch crypto when Bitcoin is going to drop very, very hard. And as soon as he said that, Bitcoin rallied 30% straight up. It's amazing how wrong that guy is. It's just so funny because the guy is just a complete buffoon. But what I wanted to say, one thing is when you see the cycle, like you look back in time and say, okay, here it is, Bitcoin dropped this percentage during the bear market, then you have the recovery year. Here we have, 6 weeks of basically a range of $200 for Bitcoin, doing nothing, like paint dry, okay, and then you move on. One thing is to look at history like that. The other thing is to actually live it. Live it is very difficult. It's a little bit when you read about history when you were at school, right? Okay, there was a conflict and these people fought for 5 years, blah, blah, blah. One thing is to read it. The other thing is to actually be there and actually see it happen. It's very different from the experience of reading. Same things with charts. When you look at them, it's one thing. When you see them, it's another one. Point is, even though during those prices going down or those prices going absolutely nowhere, here I was with a conviction very strong, and I knew that it was a matter of time before this happened. Now, again, this is also something that I expected. As soon as we start seeing some movement in crypto in more serious fashion, it's going to explode on YouTube. And it's already happening like that. The next 100x coins, the next 1000x coins, and then you have YouTubers like Meet Kevin, very famous YouTuber, who has been quiet about crypto, said nothing about it, lost all hope on crypto, instead of actually saying, hey, by the way, this is what happened in the past, and the people who accumulated during these phases actually did very well, blah, blah. Instead of doing the work, because that is the work. When I started this channel, I started in a very difficult time period because I wanted to start my work very early, because I could have just waited for this to happen. But at least now the people following me listen, and they already know that all the things that I've been saying, I was saying them at the time when it was not easy to say, when nobody wanted to hear anything about crypto, when crypto had no Google searches, nobody cared, everybody considered it a scam. That's the difficult part, to stay convicted and to stay strong and determined. Now these guys unfortunately will come up and scoop up that YouTube ad revenue, because that's all they care about. Okay, and by the time we get to another bear market, they all disappear again for another 2 years. You see, doing the work when it's not popular, when it's not easy, that shows you your real conviction, and that shows you that you are here with the message and with the learning, despite of what the price is doing. After the green candles, everybody's a hero. But sorry about that, guys. I'm a bit excited today. But it's the reality. I mean, for the people who've been following me, I hope they recognize exactly what I'm saying here. Now, the spot ETF is going to come out. I think it's just a matter, maybe in November it will come out. I have said this before. I think when it's announced, will be bullish. Then each ETF that is announced will be bullish, but less bullish each and every time. A little bit like with the inflation numbers, but on the other way, right? With the inflation numbers, big inflation was very negative. Then every time we saw the inflation numbers, it had less and less impact. Same thing with the disease that went around in 2020. Same thing for other matters. The more you see it, the less relevant it will be. However, I do think the launching will be a sell the news event. Meaning, I think there's going to be a huge sell-off, just like the Coinbase IPO in April 2021. So there will be time to, if people want, to accumulate later. But also, in the meantime, I do think there's going to be opportunities to accumulate if there is something that you wish to do. Now, I am slowly changing my strategy, which is whenever I see a 30, 40, 25% correction in my coins, I try to buy bigger amounts instead of buying slower amounts more regularly. But that's about it. To me, 2023 is still a accumulating year, and hopefully 2024, 2025 will be the year for the fun. Be careful, guys. There's going to be a lot of false prophets on YouTube, on crypto. Don't feel that FOMO. I get it. We've been waiting for this for a long time. It's time to relax a little bit. There will be sell-offs. It's fine. Don't need to go crazy. Peter Schiff is looking for a hole to hide himself. You know how it is. He will predict the end of crypto every single day of his life, and he will just and basically all his funds perform like garbage, and he's always wrong on everything. But you know how it is. This is the world we live in, and unfortunately, being the most clownish possible is rewarding on YouTube. So just be careful, guys. Don't overdo it. Don't chase big green fat candle. I mean, look, guys, you do whatever you want. At the end of the day, it's your money. I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm just trying to tell you is breathe. I get the feeling, I get the urges. I've also experienced them myself. Relax, have a plan, see if it matches with your plan. Enjoy some of these nice bullish news and the ride, and have fun, guys. At the end of the day, also have a bit of fun. Don't overthink things. The more trades you make, the more likely it is you lose money. Same way with me and my predictions. I make few predictions. I don't make 10 per day. I make maybe 10 per year. And out of the 10 that I make this year, about 8 or 9 have been correct. That's the point, right? I know where the things are moving, and I don't overdo it. Simple, okay? These things are not very complicated. As long as you stay true to yourself and stay true to your strategy and understand where we are moving. So thank you very much, guys, once again, for all the support. Don't forget, tomorrow at the live stream, I want to see some very nice attendance like the last time. I want to see some comments. I want to see some questions, some engagement. And you guys, I'll catch you tomorrow. Have a nice evening.